The Tao of Self Confidence, episode 682. Welcome to the Tao of Self Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self confidence awaits. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have an amazing lady on the show today. She is an entrepreneur of a travel business, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Angely Dub. Anjali, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more by yourself to the listeners.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So I'm Anjali. I'm heading to my workout, but before we're going to the gym, so I'm doing this with Sheena for the first time. So I usually do talks in the Philippines, but this is something new. So please, I hope you enjoy this. So I'm Anjali, and I started Access Travel. It's a travel business based in the Philippines. So I was 19. I don't know what I was thinking when I got into this business, and now I'm 28 and it's still going crazy and everyone still loves the brand. So here I am today to share story, how I made it this far and everything in between.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Anjali, what's your cultural background?
Yeah, so technically we're foreigners in the Philippines. My parents moved here 30 years ago, and I still decided to live here. Even my sister, she moved to the US way back because she felt like she didn't belong here. But I always felt the belongingness in the Philippines, with the people. They're so kind to me and everything. And I think since our topic for today is self-confidence, living in the Philippines like boosted my self-confidence. First of all, I looked way different from everyone. So I was very young when I used to go to school. Everyone would notice me like, hey, you look so pretty. You have good eyelashes. You have very beautiful eyes, your hair. So, that kind of boosted my self-confidence as a young kid. Then second thing is I lost my dad when I was 13. So I didn't have like a choice but to stand up for myself. Like, hey, I don't have my dad anymore. So I need to protect myself. I think that made me a really, really independent woman.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I think that's great. You moved to the Philippines, and like a lot of people always say, the Philippines is a great country, very welcoming, and it's so true. So, thanks for sharing that. And, what would be your favorite self confidence quote?
My self-confidence quote has been always believe in yourself, because all of us were raised differently, different perspective of our parents and different aspects of life. At the end of the day, we're human beings. We, all of us, people always tell me, oh, we weren't given a chance, so we weren't able to build a good life. I tell them, we are all given a chance. It's up to us on how we are going to use our intelligence to build what we want in life. Because I think nowadays, everyone want instant things because that's what the social media is telling us. Like, hey, I'm traveling for a living, but no one actually bothered to ask me, hey, what did you actually do to be here? They just think I'm a blogger traveling around for free. Then when I tell them, hey, actually no one pays for my trip. They're all part of my business. So I created this. I made this money. I paid for this. So this wasn't instant. It was like handed over to me like, hey, here you go, $1 million. Then you travel the world. It was never like that. So I had to build it, all the way from the bottom. So I started like with nothing. Then now I can do all these trips, but I always tell people I never sugarcoated anything. I tell them, hey, this is my job. This is my work. I'm not traveling to show off like I'm living the life, I'm traveling the world. This is my business. I created it. So I never wanted to like leave in my office, like be there. I mean, I had the choice. My business is already doing good. I can just be in my office, just, act like a normal business person. But I don't want that life for myself. So I created a different path for me. Like, I want to be there. I want to inspect every destination. I want to see it myself. So if my client will ask me in the future, hey, Angeli, what can I see in Chile? Is it safe? I would never ever like need to explain anything to them because I have enough photos and everything, my stories, my testimonials to prove them like, hey, you're safe with us because I went there myself to see it before actually sending you there. So yeah, always believe in yourself.
Thanks for sharing that. And that's a great quote that you mentioned. I think, if anything, we have to start with believing in ourselves, that so that we can take the necessary actions to go after what we want. So thanks for sharing that. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
Self confidence for me. I mean, I became like really big thing on social media, but not as an influencer or blogger, but as a woman who like speaks of what I have in my mind. I'm never afraid to speak, but as long as I'm not saying anything against anyone, I think that's self confidence for me. That people, I have power over people. Like me, I sell trips and people are willing to pay me millions for to do those trips. And they see me like this woman is so confident of what she's saying, and what she has. And I'm not a wealthy person, but I have this power that it comes from me, from who I am, that people believe what I'm actually putting on Instagram. That's self-confidence for me, that I can be a businesswoman in a suit and I can be a 28-year-old in a bikini, like a really tiny bikini, enjoying my life. But people respect me no matter who I am. Like there's no division, Like we will only respect her when she's in a suit, but when she's in a bikini, we don't like her, we hate her. So I think I've achieved the maximum level of self confidence and freedom. Like I can be whoever I want, whatever I want, because I don't care like about what people are going to say about me. Because for me, I've already proved my worth to myself. I already know who I am, what I want. I have a clear direction for my life. I'm really satisfied and contented with what I've done. And I'm living the life that I actually prayed for, and I worked hard for it. And as long as I personally believe that even you're a good person, you're a bad person, no matter who you are, people will say things about you. Because that's how it is. It's a balance of yin and yang, If you're all good, if your people just praise you for everything, you won't appreciate it until someone will say like a bad comment about you. Then you will like, oh, I actually take all the bad comments like really positively. Like, hey, this person is trying to find what's wrong with me and I need to work from there. Like, hey, thank you for pointing it out. Maybe I didn't see it and I will work from there.
Thanks for sharing that. And, Anjali, what was your life like before your discovery of self confidence?
My life, I was just a normal person. I graduated high school like as a normal kid. I wasn't in a hurry actually because I really enjoyed my life by stages. When I was in high school, I was purely a high school student. I wasn't like, I'm not trying to compare myself with my, I don't know, my friends or other people, my classmates, but I used to look at them like, why are these ladies putting lipstick? Like they're just second year high school. Why these ladies are already dating? Like what's happening? Why me? I'm not like doing that. Why I go home at 4 to watch cartoons, to watch anime? Is there something wrong with me? Then I figured it out like that this is how I want to live my life, I want to watch cartoons. So I used to watch cartoons till I was like in college. And it never bothered me actually that I was like that. And right now I'm really thankful that my mom actually never gave me like a good phone because she was so afraid of men, like boys, texting me or those kind of stuff. And right now, going back to how my mom raised me, I'm really thankful to her that she showed me when you're a kid, you're a kid. Enjoy it like that. When you're a woman, you're a woman. Enjoy it as a woman. And when you're a teenager, be a teenager. And you don't need to really rush. When you're a teenager, you want to be a woman. When you're a kid, you want to be a teenager. So I think I enjoyed every stages of my life, like as how it should be, like from my perspective and from my mother's perspective. I've always respected, I loved my mom so much, especially when my dad died. Up to today, when I have like major life decisions to make, I don't ask her permission, but I always make sure she feels like she's part of me, She's part of my life out of my respect. So I'm really thankful to my mother. I always say this in my talks that I am the product of her because I saw her very strong. When my dad died, she was able to raise four strong kids, I mean, alone, she wasn't afraid. She took us away from all our relatives because she thought they were like toxic for us. And that's why we've been living in the Philippines for the longest time because she never took us back to our relatives. So I'm really thankful to my mom for raising me like very simple way, very low key. I had my first MacBook when I graduated college, I used to do my work on computer shops when I went to school in Manila. So there was a computer shop near our school. So she showed me like, hey, even we have money, you have to go through this process of life. So when you are there on the top, when you look at the people, you know how to value them because you've been through that process, you know? She had the money to get us cars when we were in college, but no, she taught us how to commute. I would take a bus. I live 2 hours. I used to live 2 hours away from my college. So I would take a bus 4 in the morning because my class started at 7. So I went through that process. So now, when I finally got my car, when I started my business, so the first thing I bought was my car. I was like, hey, mom, I can't go to my office like on a bus, you know? I mean, taking a bus in the Philippines is different from taking a bus in a first world country. So I got up my car. My mom paid the down payment of that. Then I paid for the monthly. So then I appreciated my car. I still use it today. I mean, I have money now to buy a new car, but I won't buy because I have this attachment to my car that, like, oh my God, I am never letting go of this car because it reminds me how hard it was when I was in college, you know, taking a bus and jeep in the Philippines. So yeah, that's how I was raised. So now I'm finally a woman. I'm 28 and I'm enjoying it, you know. I'm living my life. That's the line. I think it's my mom that I should be grateful for, that she made me who I am. So yeah, very simple.
Thanks for sharing that. I think that's great, especially having a mom who's always supported you in decisions that you have and showing you to appreciate everything that you work for, right? Because it is a different feeling when, you get something that you've worked hard for all your life or like something that you've been like laser focused on. So I think that's really great. And what was that like point in your life, especially, starting a travel company at 19? That's something that's not a typical 19-year-old would do, but what was like that aha moment that made you realize you can start your own business at such a young age?
The thing is, I've been an alpha ever since. I think the fact that I was raised like that, I always saw myself ahead of everyone, I wasn't competing with anyone. I was always competing with myself. Up to today, I'm like that, Every day I would wake up in the morning, I was like, what can I do today, to kill the person I was yesterday and to do something great? What can I do today? Like if yesterday at the gym, I tried to lift 20 kilos, today I will do 30 kilos. I've been that kind of person. I wasn't afraid of anything. When my dad passed away, that changed the whole story. I was like, now my dad is gone. I was his girl, I even have a tattoo of him, Daddy's little girl. I was like, my hero is gone. I don't want to see my dad someday because we will all die, Like he just left me out of nowhere. I was like, the next time I see him in heaven, I need to make him proud. Like, hey, even I left you in the middle of nowhere, you made it alone. So I made myself like more alpha, not scared of everything. I don't know. I'm just not scared. I can't swim, but I do surfing. I dive. It's like, I don't have any kind of fear. Oh my God, I don't know what kind of person I'm becoming. Like, I'm not afraid of the water, so I just go. I was like, when I surf, I have the board. My board will save me. When I dive, I have my tank. My tank will save me. So yeah, I think everything I do or everything I've done is because I'm not scared. I've understood the moment my father died, life is a risk, and I might die tomorrow or later. So it shouldn't be. My dad had so many dreams for us, for me, for my sisters, for my brother, but he saw nothing. He wanted my brother to be a pilot, see him flying a plane, but he saw nothing. So that was like a wake up call for me, like for the rest of my life. Like, hey, oh my God, if I want to do something, it should be done today, right now, because I might not have a chance tomorrow. I think that's what's missing today. We take everything for granted, Like my commitment to my mother is, even I don't go home to you, I will text you every day. I'm okay. I love you. And just in case my plane never lands, I mean, I told my mother how much I love her, Then I always tell her like every day, I hope I'm making you proud. Look how many people booked my Latin America tour and I just started promoting it last December. And sometimes she doesn't even understand my business language anymore, but just the fact I'm telling her that I sent 50 people to Cuba, it means something to me. Like, hey, I'm the product of you, and this is what I'm doing because of how you raised me when my dad died.
Thanks for sharing that. And it's unfortunate that your dad passed away at such a young age, but just a life experience like that does really make you see things in a totally different way. And you just realize how short life is. Most people wouldn't even get to do half the things you've done at 28. A lot of people just kind of walk It's kind of like The Walking Dead. They walk like zombies, not realizing like they're just having life passing them by. So, I think that's great you were able to do that. And because of that, what's your life been like now?
Now, before when I started Access, my goal was to make my business work. But as Ashley Graham said this morning, when you finally made it's actually a lot more harder because you want to stay there. So now I mean, my business is doing very good. We have stable clients. I have my good employees with me. Even once in a while, we have like some little dramas, which is part of life. I'm at the stage of my life. I need money, of course. I mean, what kind of human I am if I would say I don't need money? Money is not the main issue anymore in my life. So I had my marketing meeting the other day and I asked one of the girls, hey, what do you think my purpose is now? I think I've already built this. I'm just 28. I don't want to be like this, just doing meetings and talking about how successful we are because we already know that. Because when you are building something, when you've done something, you need to learn how to acknowledge what you've done, for you to keep moving forward and what else you can do. You know what she said? Maybe, Anjali, your purpose now is to help other people and to actually enjoy all the years that you missed out when you were doing this. That was a wake up call for me. I was like, I'm booking a trip to Siargao. I used to surf. I left surfing until till I broke my ankle while I was building my Iceland tour for the clients. I went to Siargao for a week. Then I got a trainer. Then she trained me all over again. I was like, maybe Jonah was right. Maybe it's time for me to go back when I was 19 to enjoy what I should have done before. And it's still not too late. I just shuffled my life a bit. I built my career first before doing YOLO. Actually, doing YOLO now is way better than I could have done it before because I can now afford it. Like last week, I just went to the Great Barrier to do dive at the Great Barrier, and I was like, if I did it at age of 20, I wouldn't have done it. Even I wanted to do it because I didn't have money for it to fund it. But now it seems easier. I worked so hard. I'm not a rich woman or a wealthy woman, but I think I've reached the level where I can now finally afford to do things that I couldn't have afforded to do it way back. So it's really fascinating that we made it this far. Access is turning 10 in a few years, and I feel like I'm still 16 because every day I still wake up with that excitement in my heart, like, oh my God, I need to do something today for my office, for my employees, as a leader, as an entrepreneur. How can I contribute to society? While doing Access Travel, I'm building this small digital marketing agency where I haven't launched it in the market. So I'm helping small entrepreneurs to build like how I built Access to make them understand the power of social media, content, and how it's done, the consistency, the hard work. So we already have like 3 clients. So I'm helping them out. So I think that's my purpose is now it's not just about money or make my business great, successful, blah, 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 blah. I think I'm kind of done with that. I don't want to, be burnt out with just keep on building, 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 building. I want to feel what I've built right now, which is my present. I want to feel this. I want to leave this because if I'm focused on my present, my future is automatically building. I don't have to like really stress out on that. I've been working for 10 years, maybe more than 10 years. So now I just want to enjoy whatever I have by, dealing with people I love, by making sure I'm there for them, for my employees, for my mom, for my brother, for my sister, because I missed out so much in life while I was building this because everything comes with a price, and mine was I lost my youth. I used to be so active and I lost it in the process and I lost my father, of course. So yeah, now I'm just chill and relax, trying to find my inner peace and who I am. And before I turn 30, I need to tell myself that I'm the woman now that I've always wanted to be. So I think it's a process. It's a daily process. Day by day, I'm getting there. So yeah, we're becoming more active on doing social service because I want to give back to the society. I want to help these kids give education because I believe that education is really the key. Intelligence is the key to unlock like poverty for them, hunger. That's where it's coming from. Their parents weren't educated. So this is totally different topic that I'm covering, but that's what's happening with my life right now.
Thanks for sharing that. And I love how you mentioned, it's never too late because it's true, right? And, you can still do the things that you want to do that you thought you missed out. My aunt, she passed away passed away about 8.5 years ago, but, she was able to do the things she wanted in her 50s, like, like going rock climbing, diving. Like she never let her age stop her from doing those things, even though many people told her, you're too old for that. She went ahead and did it. So, it's never too late. We're never too old. If we put our mind to it, we can do anything. So I think that's great. You're able to do that and you're able to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yes, yes. This is what I tell women. Even you got pregnant with a plan or no plan at age of 22, it's okay. That shouldn't stop your life. You have control over your life. People are missing out on that. You can control your life if you just choose to control it. Like what Michelle Obama said, I've been reading her books. I mean, I love her. I'm obsessed with her. She said, my parents taught me to control everything I can, which makes sense. I mean, for example, in my case, I got PCOS, which is an ovary disease. Like 4 years ago, I gained a lot of weight. I used to hide from people. I stopped going out. I stopped going everywhere. Then I was like, this is under my control. I just need to go to the gym and just work out. That's it. Now this is how I look because I had control over it. I didn't let my disease like go all over my mind. Like, hey, I have this. It's okay to gain weight. It's okay to not feel, confident about myself. I was like, no, I have control over this and I'm going to control my diet and everything, blah, blah, blah. And look, I fought it, I'm okay. I look okay now. I'm so confident about who I am, my body and everything. So going back, you can control things in life, you don't let things control you, but it's the other way around, right?
Totally. I think that was a great tip, especially like, I've interviewed women who was born with no legs, but they decided they wanted to skateboard, not because having no legs stopped them, but they just choose it because they wanted to skateboard. And if we just see things that way because we wanted to do it versus letting like setbacks, stop us from doing it, then like what we can tap into is like limitless. So, I think that tip you have is really great. And, if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, or check out some of your services or check out your travel business, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yes, so you can follow me on Instagram. It's Anjali, Angel with a Y, then Dub, Angely Dub. Then our business account is Access Travel PH. So, and our website is www.travelwithaccess.com. So we can take you anywhere in the world. You want to go to Greenland, Antarctica, just let us know. We'll take you there. And recently we just launched our 12-month installment plans and 24 months. So you can travel anywhere in the world and not think about paying in cash $10,000 because you can split it into 12 months or 24 months, whatever works for you. So that's the goal now of Access Travel as a company. We are bringing every destination very close to the Philippines, or no matter who you are, where you are from, you can travel with us. We will make sure to not, it should never be a burden for you. I know sometimes I tell this to people. I know I'm fortunate, to have a mom who funded me very well, who raised me very well, who gave me a very education. And I'm not trying to tell you here that life is, fair with everyone. I know there are people, they're not as fortunate as I am, but we can always find something good in everything. I mean, I've seen the world, but if there's a one thing I believe in, I still know nothing. The world is so huge. I still know nothing, and I'm here to learn, every day. So if you want to connect with me on Instagram, share your story, because I get a lot of messages every day from so many people around the world that I inspired them to open a travel business. I never consider them as my competitors. I was like, everyone wants to be there. Everyone wants to be successful. And I'm glad that I'm not just building a business or an empire. I'm also connecting like people to each other. Like I'm making a connection with people I don't even know. Sometimes when I feel like sad, alone, I just go to my inbox in Instagram. I just read messages from these people who are inspired. Like there was this girl. And she didn't want to be a doctor, and she just told her parents like, hey, I don't want to take medicine. I want to travel, I want to have a travel business. So her parents were so against her. Then the money that she had, she just used it to travel. I mean, I know it takes courage and everything to do those kind of things, but at the end of the day, life is a risk, Everything is a risk, and it's always worth taking. And you will fail. Of course, you will fail all the time. I don't even remember how many times I've failed, but all my failures led me to success. All the no's that I got, all the no's that I said made me the Angely Dub that I'm talking right now. And that's my story. I hope I was able to inspire people who will listen to this, and I hope to get connected with you on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Anjali, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Anjali's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I really just want to thank Anjali today for taking the time to share her story with us. So thank you so much, Anjali.
Thank you so much, Sheena. I hope to meet you when you're in the Philippines.
Same here. And it was again, thanks again for doing this. I really appreciate it. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com to check out cool resources, blog articles, show recaps, and so much more. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.